Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we take a stack of sources and extract those golden nuggets of knowledge, custom tailored just for you. Today, we're embarking on a truly, well, mind-bending journey, one that bridges ancient wisdom with the sharp edge of cutting-edge technology.
Indeed. Our source material for this deep dive comes from the fascinating blog of Dr. Ramesh Thangavel, specifically his collection of Tamil articles under the title AIML in Astrology. He fearlessly tackles Indian astrology through the rigorous lens of data science, challenging us, really, to see something steeped in tradition in a completely new light.
And our mission for this deep dive is to unpack the core insights from these articles. We want to give you a high-level summary of how Dr. Thangavel systematically analyzes traditional astrological concepts using modern statistical and data science principles. Can something as ancient and, let's face it, seemingly mystical as astrology truly be validated by the cold, hard logic of data science? Dr. Thangavel says yes, and his work provides a fascinating blueprint for how. Get ready for some serious aha moments. So, okay, let's unpack his big picture vision here. It sounds like he's not just, dabbling. He's trying to fundamentally revolutionize how astrology is understood, almost like a scientific reevaluation.
That's spot on. Dr. Thangavel's overarching goal, which he articulates clearly in articles like T001, My Vision in Astrology, is to approach Indian astrology entirely mathematically. He truly believes it aligns perfectly with artificial intelligence and machine learning. And the aim? Well, the ambitious aim is bringing a new level of certainty and reliability to astrological predictions. He even makes a bold statement predicting that within 10 years, the world will view astrology in a fundamentally different way.
That's a bold claim, yeah, but it sounds like he's laying the groundwork for it right from the start. What does he mean when he frames astrology itself as a data-driven discipline, like from the get-go?
Precisely. In T002, Necessity of Long-Term Data Collection in Astrology, he emphasizes that astrology, at its core, is a field of data and mathematical science. Think of it this way. It's about calculating the precise impact of celestial bodies on life on Earth, and then condensing those observed effects into predictive rules, or you could say algorithms. This, he argues, absolutely necessitates long-term, meticulously reliable data. He reinforces this point in T003, Reliability of Astrological Data, urging readers to test astrological data scientifically rather than accepting it blindly. It's really a call for empirical validation.
That makes perfect sense. I mean, if you want scientific rigor, you need good data and a method to analyze it, right? How does he then bridge that vision to actual statistical concepts? Does he introduce specific tools or frameworks?
He certainly does. He dedicates a whole series to it, actually. Starting with T0201, Statistics in Indian Astrology Introduction, and moving through T022, some basics, and T023, Statistical Models in Astrology. This series introduces the fundamental statistical concepts needed to approach traditional astrological rules. And what's fascinating here is he even references Michel Gauquelin.
Oh, the French scholar.
That's the one, renowned for famously attempting to statistically prove Western astrological predictions. Including him shows Dr. Thangavel's commitment to building on existing scientific efforts, and his dedication to a rigorous, evidence-based approach.
It's impressive how he connects the ancient with the modern. This whole approach also makes me wonder how much of traditional astrology, at least in his view, is genuinely rooted in actual astronomy. Does he really dig into those origins in his articles?
Absolutely, it's a major focus. A significant portion of his work delves deep into the astronomical underpinnings of astrological concepts. For instance, his series from T016, Cosmos 12 Rashis, right through to T020, 12 Rashi 27 Nakshatras, final part, provides an extensive astronomical perspective on the 12 zodiac signs, or Rashis, and the 27 lunar constellations, Nakshatras. He explains their actual celestial placement and how these astronomical realities originally shaped astrological constructs.
And I love that detail he highlights in T016 about ancient astrologers being able to observe the sky directly, without tools, unlike many people today. It really emphasizes a lost connection to the physical cosmos, doesn't it?
It truly does. He also explores more specific astronomical factors that have profound astrological implications. Take Ayanamsa, for example, in T025. Ayanamsa, statistical view. This is a crucial correction factor. It accounts for the slow, observable precession of the equinoxes, which subtly shifts the celestial longitudes over time. He discusses its importance from a precise statistical viewpoint. And perhaps most intriguing is the connection he draws between lunar parallax.
Lunar parallax.
Yeah, which is the apparent shift of the moon against distant stars, depending on where you're observing from.
Yeah.
And the Dasabukti calculation system in T015, lunar parallax and Dasabukti calculation. This suggests that even the calculation of lifespans within astrology, like Maharishi Parashara's 120-year average, Well, it has deep astronomical considerations. It implies the ancients derived these complex timing systems from real observable celestial movements.
That's a powerful idea that these seemingly mystical systems had such tangible observational roots. Now let's get into the real core mechanics. The author statistically analyzes so many foundational astrological concepts. What are some of the key takeaways here? How did he actually deconstruct them statistically?
Right, this is where his synthesis truly shines.
Mm.
It reveals what he sees as the mathematical elegance embedded in these ancient systems. He systematically breaks down various astrological components, explaining their statistical basis, often translating them into concepts modern data scientists would immediately recognize. Let's start with the very fundamental building blocks. He examines concepts like Lanya, or the ascendant.
The rising sign at birth.
Exactly. The specific zodiac sign rising on the eastern horizon at the exact moment and location of birth. It's considered foundational to personality and life path. And then Pava, the astrological houses, these are 12 divisions of the sky, each representing specific areas of life like wealth, relationships, career. In T026 for Lanya, in T027 for Pava, he explains them as fundamental statistical arrangements, almost like the foundational axes or dimensions in a multivariable chart, defining the basic framework for all other astrological data points. What's fascinating is, in T027, he even touches on how ancient sages might have addressed the challenge of needing a large number of sample horoscopes for proof, suggesting they had their own robust methods to overcome this statistical hurdle long before modern statistics existed.
Okay, so even something like Caracas, or what we call significators, has a statistical explanation in his view. I always thought of them as more, symbolic.
According to T028, Caraca, or Caracatvis, yes, he describes them as a surprisingly simple statistical arrangement. Think of it like identifying the primary predictive variables in a modern statistical model. Each variable, or Caraca, consistently signifies a specific life area or outcome. He also looks at astrological yogas, specific planetary combinations or patterns said to produce particular results, as well as planetary conjunctions and aspects in T029. He categorizes them as a method for correlating the combined effect of significant two-dimensional variables with specific outcomes, offering a statistical explanation for their predictive power. It's like looking for specific correlations or interactions between multiple data points to predict a result.
What about planetary strengths and states? Concepts like exaltation or debilitation, those feel quite qualitative in traditional astrology. How does he approach those statistically?
That's where he really gets into the great mathematical constructions, as he puts it. In T03, which covers various planetary states like rulership, exaltation, debilitation, planetary war, combustion, retrogrades, he details how these are deeply embedded with profound mathematical arrangements. He views these states as functioning like weighted variables, basically, enhancing or diminishing a planet's influence according to precise, quantifiable rules. And what's more, he dedicates 2 entire articles, T0 and T011, to the astronomical research behind planetary exaltation and debilitation specifically. He analyzed 2,300 years of planetary data to find and explain these patterns.
2,300 years.
Yeah, showing a very data-driven origin for these seemingly qualitative concepts.
Analyzing 2,300 years of data, that's a massive undertaking. So he's showing us the raw data behind these concepts. What about the more advanced calculation systems like Shadbala?
He certainly dives deep into those. He dedicates a major 5-part series to Shadbala, or 6 strengths, from T032 through T036. This is a complex system for calculating the combined strength of planets. He dissects each of its 6 components: Nysargika, natural strength, a planet's intrinsic power; Sthana, positional strength based on zodiac placement; Kala, temporal strength, its power at certain times; Dik, directional strength; Drig, aspectual strength, how it views others; and Cheshta, motional strengths based on speed. He explains their statistical nuances and astronomical connections. For instance, in T034, he mentions data visualization being used for planetary aspects.
Wow, a modern technique.
Exactly, applied to ancient concepts. The final part, T036, offers an overall critique, highlighting the merits and proper applications of Shadbala.
Okay, and what about the Ashtaka-Varga system? That's another complex one, often seen as quite abstract.
Indeed. His 3-part series on Ashtaka-Varga, T037, T038, T039, provides statistical explanations for its various stages. Ashtaka-Varga is a unique predictive system. It assigns points to planets in different houses and signs, indicating their influence, benefic or malefic. What's particularly fascinating is his conclusion in T039. He connects a specific stage of Ashtakavarga called Shuddhapinda to the modern statistical concept of dimension reduction.
Dimension reduction, like in data science.
Precisely. It's a technique used to reduce the number of variables you're looking at by finding the most important ones.
So if I'm understanding this, it's almost like ancient astrologers were doing what a modern data scientist does with a complex spreadsheet, finding the hidden patterns that simplify everything. That's pretty remarkable. It's a true aha moment right there. He also covers divisional charts, right?
Yes, in T031 Vargachakra's statistical view, he offers a statistical cross-section of these divisional charts. These are highly specialized charts derived from the main birth chart. They subdivide zodiac signs, each focusing on a specific area of life, like marriage, children, career. He points out their unique structural components and emphasizes the intriguing connection between astronomy and the Navamsa chart specifically.
Which is crucial for marriage and destiny analysis.
That's the one. Lastly, he details the intricate structure of the Dasabhukti Antara system in T040 Udu Mahadashas. He explains how this time cycle system, which predicts specific life events and their timings, is built upon the nakshatras and rashis. He highlights its precise, systematic construction, almost like a complex, layered algorithm.
This all sounds like a powerful call for a much more rigorous, evidence-based approach to astrology. What does the author say about the mindset needed to truly engage with this material and, move the field forward?
He repeatedly emphasizes a research mindset in articles like T009, Research Mindset in Astrology, strongly advocating for questioning assumptions and seeking scientific explanations rather than blind acceptance. He also tackles a common and important question, which is the best astrological method, in T007. To illustrate his point, he uses the analogy of viewing a cuboid from different angles.
Yeah, okay.
Each angle offers a valid, albeit different, perspective of the same underlying reality. It's about understanding the multidimensional nature of the astrological system itself.
So what does this all mean for you, the listener, someone interested in learning more or even applying these ideas? Is Dr. Thangavel just writing theory, or does he offer practical applications?
Oh, Dr. Thangavel is definitely not just writing theory. He's actively translating the statistical understanding into practical applications. He mentions conducting YouTube classes, which began in early 2023, on astrology calculations through Excel software. This is designed to empower astrologers to perform complex calculations with modern precision. And since 2024, he's launched a new series, Astrology for the Public, aimed at introducing Indian astrology from this scientific, data-driven perspective to the general public, broadening its appeal and understanding beyond traditional circles.
What a deep dive.
Yeah.
Seriously. We've journeyed from ancient astrological principles right into modern data science, guided by Dr. Ramesh Thangavel's compelling vision. It's clear that when approached with a critical and analytical mind, even the most ancient disciplines can reveal surprising, sophisticated structures. Structures that resonate profoundly with contemporary scientific thought.
This deep dive truly highlights that knowledge is most valuable when it's understood and applied, and that critical thinking is absolutely essential in navigating today's information-rich world, especially when we're reevaluating established systems with new tools.
So here's a thought for you to mull over. If ancient wisdom traditions, like astrology, contain such sophisticated statistical and astronomical frameworks, what other traditional knowledge might be ripe for modern scientific reevaluation? And what might we discover if we approach them with an open yet rigorously analytical mind?